Hi everybody, so this is a little what's in my bag as like a traveling artist. What do I normally take on road trips where I need to pack light, where I can't really have so many things going on, otherwise it doesn't make for very productive artwork because you're having to dig through supplies. You can't really take a bunch of colored pencils in the car. I mean, I guess you can, but that's way easier to dump all over the floor of a car, especially if you're traveling with a bunch of your siblings and whatnot. You don't have a ton of room. Thankfully, my dad always drives us because he doesn't like anyone else to drive, so I don't really have to worry about driving. Don't draw and drive at the same time, guys. That's not good. But I'm just going to show you guys a couple things that I have that I keep handy and that I think are super useful for traveling, that you can keep in your bag, in a tote bag like this. And I carried this around the national parks that we visited. Of course, we weren't doing like treacherous hikes or anything. We weren't doing any treacherous hikes, but it's small and light and it was nice to carry around. So let's go through the stuff that I had. So the first thing I always make sure I bring is a pencil case so I can keep my pencils and stuff in here. So this is the one that I got, or that I brought with me. One of my old coworkers got this for me, so shout out to Jesus for being a really good Secret Santa. He knew exactly what I needed. So really happy about this. I still use it in the Christmases that have passed. I think it's been like maybe 2 years now. But I'm still using it. In here, I have a kneaded eraser, a pencil sharpener, a good variety of pencils and markers and whatnot. So there's lots of things that I carry with me. Let me show you a couple of them. 1 second. I'm gonna just try to clip this to my collar and see if the audio is still good. Okay, awesome. So I like to bring some highlighters because I like using those in my sketchbooks. I also really like micron pens, so I bring a good variety of those. These are Color Ace from Prismacolor, and I have 3. I have one in green, one in purple, and one in red. And then I also have a couple detail watercolor brushes that I brought along with me, but you'll see the other watercolor stuff I got going on, which is honestly, you don't need those. It's way more useful to just have the detail watercolor stuff. And then I also have mechanical pencils, my absolute favorite. So that's what's in my pencil case. The next thing I brought is a variety of sketchbooks. You want to make sure you get a variety, especially if you know what different media you're going to use. So typically when I travel, I like using watercolor and I like sketching. So this is the sketch book that I just use on the day-to-day. But I lost it, so I thought I wasn't going to be able to find it before the trip. So I ended up buying another lavender one. But I found it before we left, so like the day before we left, so I didn't really need it. And then this is a watercolor sketchbook, because I knew that I was going to want to be doing a lot of watercolor stuff, so I brought one, because if you don't use a watercolor sketchbook, it's really easy for the watercolors to not turn out the way you want them to, because they need a very specific type of paper. The next thing I brought is a travel watercolor kit. This one I actually took from my mom. It's Needin watercolors. The watercolor quality is not very good because it's not like super artist grade or anything, but the reason that I like it is it comes with like a sponge to wipe your pen off. It comes with a water brush pen. So I was mostly using this for laying stuff down, and then the detail brushes that I showed you earlier, those were used whenever I was done with the washes, wanted a little bit more detail. This brush tip is actually pretty good, but it's not the most amazing thing in the world. So that's why I brought a variety of brushes with me. And then this little set is really cool because what it does is it folds out and there's tons and tons of different colors in here. So basically as many colors as you can imagine. And then there's a little thing for mixing here. This is not enough room for me. I need way more room for mixing because I love mixing colors. But because there are so many different colors in this set, typically you won't have to mix a lot of colors if you're a beginner. But I think A lot of times people who like working with watercolor prefer to mix their own colors instead of grabbing it directly from a pan. So I brought this just because I didn't want to just take the brush. I was like, might as well grab the whole thing. But the watercolors that I'm mostly using to paint are these ones. Well, this isn't the watercolor. This is actually a micro portable painter that I got at Blick. And how it works, it's really dirty right now because I was using it yesterday. But how it works is you take every part out of it. And you don't drop it like I just did, but you take the parts out of it and then you assemble it. So this slides into here, and then this one slides into here. There you go. And then at the bottom of this piece, there's a fold out that you can grab. And then when you're painting, you kind of hold it with the fold out like this, and then it's ready to go for you. And when I bought this, it came with these empty tubs that I ended up filling with my artist grade watercolor. So shout out to Professor Lawrence for making me buy all of these. I didn't want to pay for it, but I did because I was in that class, and now I can use it for nice nature illustrations, painting plein air, as the technical term is for it. And then it's really easy to disassemble. You just take the pieces off, stick them back in. I really need to clean it, but I'm lazy and I don't clean it right away, which is why it's dirty. There. Now I got paint all over my hands. So that is all the art supplies that I take with me when I'm on the go. Just a little simple pack of the things I like most. And obviously when you're on the go, you can curate it to whatever your favorite medium is. So like I enjoy watercolor, so most of my stuff is watercolor, as you saw earlier. But if you like color pencil, I'm sure you can find a way to work around color pencil, like having it in one of those pencil cases instead of just kind of loose or a big pack, only bringing the colors that you really like, and stuff like that. So workarounds, you don't need a lot of supplies, I promise you. It's good to just have good, reliable ones. And it's better to bring less than more. Otherwise, it can be overwhelming to paint or draw on the go. Because if you bring too much stuff, then you have to like dig through it, and then sometimes it can get overwhelming and you won't even start at all. So it's better to bring less stuff than more stuff. But yeah, I'll just show you a couple of the things that I did while traveling. So this was something that I did in the national park. This is something that I did here. So it's not this exact backgrounds, but it's based on that. And then these are a couple of sketches that I did at different times of day at the lake as well. So you can do lots of really cool stuff with just a few supplies, but make sure that you're bringing them, because if you don't, like, what's that phrase that dads always use? You miss 100% of the shots you never take. So take a shot. I'm sure you can make some good art.